Chapter 2649. I will collect all the evidence and clear Su Yu's name, Hua Min said. That's it? That's all? Tang Chuan wasn't satisfied. That's not all. Anyways, all you need to do is collect the evidence for me. I know how to do it. Okay, we'll do as you say. After talking about Su Yu, Hua Min, Jiang Shaowei, and Tang Chuan continued to eat. Qin Ning originally planned to come with Su Yu, but she received a call from Qin Chu's parents, so she went back to pick up the twins and went to piano practice. So, she planned to find Tang Chuan after she was done with her work. While the twins were in the piano room, Qin Ning sat in the living room and waited. She took out her phone and started texting her friends in America to relieve her boredom. Suddenly, she heard a woman's laughter behind her. Miss Qin, what a coincidence. Qin Ning turned around, and when she saw the woman behind her, her face fell slightly. Ms. Jean, what a coincidence. It was Jean. She was as elegant as always, wearing a long cheongsam and styling her hair in the style of the Republic of China. She exuded the aura of a mature woman. Miss Qin, isn't Chuan with you? Is Chuan someone you can call? If I remember correctly, you're his third aunt, right? Qin Ning's expression was not pleasant. But I'm divorced from his third uncle. So what? Do you think you still have a chance? Are you trying to persuade me to back off? Qin Ning knew that Jean Ing wasn't a kind person. No, I actually want to say that you don't know Chuan. After all, I was with him for a long time. What he likes to eat, what he likes to play, what he likes to listen to, which country he likes, which team he likes, what sports he likes, I know everything. What about you? Do you know? Qin Ning suddenly realized that after being together for so long, Tang Chuan basically knew her preferences. However, it was true that she had never asked Tang Chuan, because when the two of them were together, Tang Chuan always followed her preferences. Tang Chuan would eat whatever she ate. Thinking of this, she felt guilty. She had indeed neglected him. I don't know. It seems your girlfriend isn't very reliable. No wonder. Mrs. Tang doesn't like you. Jean Ing smiled contemptuously. You make it sound like Mrs. Tang likes you. The pot calling the kettle black, what's the point? Qin Ning retorted. Do you know what the Tang family is saying about you? Jean Ing asked. Tell me about it. Qin Ning raised her chin arrogantly. The Tang family said that you're just an unruly rich girl who doesn't know how to do anything and that you're not suitable to be the daughter-in-law of the Tang family. Plus, Chuan's feelings for you are temporary and he's just looking for a sense of novelty. The truth is he's always liked mature and elegant women, not an immature girl like you. Even if he did marry you, it would be because your family has helped the Tang family. It's a business marriage. Do you really think you two are truly in love? What's the point of saying all this? Do you think I don't know what you're thinking? You just want to drive a wedge between us. Why should I believe you? Qin Ning wasn't an idiot. She wouldn't believe Jean Ying's unreliable words just because of what she said. Do you think I'm just saying it? You can see for yourself. Then, Jean Ning turned on her phone and showed Qin Ning a video. After watching it, Qin Ning's expression changed drastically. Chapter 2650. Jean Ing had recorded a short video, and the person talking in it was Tang Chuan's mother. Although Qin Ning had never officially visited her, she knew what Tang Chuan's mother looked like. In the video, Tang Chuan's mother said loudly and disdainfully, "That little girl from the Qin family is shameless enough to throw herself at my son. Her father wants to give the company to my son, but unfortunately, my son has a backbone. The Tang family doesn't lack that little bit of pocket money. Who would want that? My son is still young and uncertain. He's just fooling around with that little girl for a while, and he won't get married. I've never liked the Qin family, especially that young president of GK. He's always so arrogant, as if they're the only rich family in the world. You guys, if there's a suitable girl with a clean background who's cultured and educated, introduce her to my son. She must be a virgin. I don't want my future daughter-in-law to be a bus driver. I don't want anyone to sleep with her. And I don't want my grandson to be born from a woman like that. Our family doesn't ask for a daughter-in-law to be super rich, even if she's not of the same social status, but I'm telling you, she must be filial to me and Tang Chuan. She must know how to take care of my son and be a good wife and mother. The video ended there, and Qin Ning's expression couldn't be described with the word ugly. How is it, Miss Qin? Are you sad? To tell you the truth, Tang Chuan's mother is very difficult to deal with. Even a rich girl who's better than you might not be able to catch her eye, let alone you. So, don't think that you're really Tang Chuan's fiancé. Thank you for your kindness, Ms. Jean. No matter what the Tang family thinks of me, as long as Tang Chuan treats me well and loves me, that's all that matters. Even if they want to use your marriage and your family background, you don't care. Jean Ing asked in disbelief. Yes, I don't care, as long as Tang Chuan is with me. It's better than someone like you who doesn't know how to cherish him and only comes back to him after losing him, Qin Ning refuted Jean Ing. Haha, I really have to admire Miss Qin's open-mindedness. Jean Ing laughed sarcastically. You probably haven't heard of a story. Actually, marriages that are based on benefits will last longer. After all, a marriage of equal social status will help two people get along better. With your background, you should be very lucky to be able to marry his third uncle. It's impossible for you to marry Tang Chuan, but I can. Even if it's because of my family background, I'm willing, but you'll never be able to get it. That's it. Qin Ning's words infuriated Jean Ing. Well, in that case, I won't say more. Miss Qin, take care of yourself, he. Jean Ning turned around and left. What a bitch! Qin Ning cursed as she looked at the woman's departing back. When the twins came out, they realized that their aunt was in a bad mood. What's going on? Why the long face? Did you break up? Little Bean teased. Little Bean, can't you say something more auspicious? Qin Ning didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Lucky? Okay, Auntie, did you get pregnant out of wedlock? Little Bean continued to ask. Qin Ning almost choked on her own saliva when she heard this. Just then her phone rang. She looked down and saw that it was Tang Chuan calling. But for some reason, Qin Ning didn't want to pick up. Auntie, you have a phone call. Little Bean thought that Qin Ning didn't hear her and kindly reminded her. Chapter 2651. I heard it. You don't have to answer it, Qin Ning said angrily. It seems like you guys are really fighting. Pudding glanced at her aunt helplessly. She felt so tired every day. Not only did she have to watch her parents fight, but she also had to watch her aunt and future uncle put on such a sad show. It's okay. Don't talk about it when you get home, okay? Qin Ning warned. Okay. Seeing their aunt's attitude, the twins didn't want to ask too much. When they got home, Qin Chu and Huamin had already gone home. It was rare for the whole family to gather together. Mrs. Qin had prepared a table full of dishes in order to ease the awkward atmosphere in the house. Grandma made a lot of the dishes today. You guys should eat some, Mr. Qin said to his twin grandsons. Grandma made the food herself. Thank you, Grandma. Little Bean blew a kiss into the air. You're good at making people happy. Mama Qin smiled. Ning Ning, do you want to call your boyfriend and ask him to come over for dinner? Mr. Qin asked. No, Uncle. What's wrong? Mr. Qin felt something was wrong and asked curiously. Ning Ning, what's wrong? Did you have a fight with Tang Chuan? Huamin tilted his head and looked at Qin Ning. He saw Tang Chuan at noon and didn't think there was anything going on between them. It's okay, sis-in-law. Let's not talk about it. You should ask my brother if he really wants me to take the twins with me. Qin Ning hadn't made up her mind yet. After all, they had never lived alone in the States. Would they really get used to being separated from their parents for so long? At this question, Huamian gently bit her lips. Honey, do you really want Ning Ning to take the twins with her? Mom and Dad will go with her. Don't worry. When this is over, we'll bring them back. But, is it safe? I'm afraid. Huamin still felt uneasy. It's safe. I've contacted Rick. His people will be waiting at the airport over there. There won't be any problems, Qin Chu said. But Huamin still felt that it was inappropriate. Before she could finish, Qin Chu interrupted her. While the children are gone, let's calm down and think about our business. Chu, Mian, you're both adults now, not kids anymore. Your mom and I don't want to talk too much about your relationship, but don't mess around. After all, you're parents now. Don't let outsiders laugh at you, Mr. Qin said seriously. Huamin nodded obediently. You're right, Eddie. Let's treat this trip to America as a vacation and visit your second uncle. We can also persuade him to stop being so pretentious and agree to Ning Ning's marriage with that kid from the Tang family, Mr. Qin said. Uncle, my matter is not urgent. You don't have to help me. Ever since she watched the video Ji Ning gave her, Qin Ning had been in a bad mood. She vented all her anger on Tang Chuan. Daddy, Mommy, but Sis and I don't want to go. We don't want to leave you, Little Bean said pitifully. It won't be long. Be good. When things are done here, I'll bring you back, okay? Qin Chu coaxed his two daughters gently. Although Pudding was unwilling, she nodded calmly. Let's do that. After dinner, Qin Chu went to the study while Huamin took the twins to their room to read stories. After Qin Chu went in, he received a call from Rick. Have you booked their trip? When will it be? I'll send someone to pick them up, Rick asked. Chapter 2652. They're not going, Qin Chu answered calmly. They're not going? Are you kidding me? Rick froze. My daughters are leaving, but it's just an illusion. It's to deceive people. The news I released to the public is 2 days later. At that time, I believe that someone will definitely make a move at the airport. I'm here to catch a turtle in a jar. So that's how it is. You sure have a lot of ideas. Rick admitted defeat to Qin Chu's scheming. So, you can just send some people over and pretend to be there. Okay, I understand. After the call with Rick, Qin Chu picked up his phone and ordered his subordinates to deploy. He wondered if Huasiqian would make a move if he knew his daughters were leaving. There were also other enemies who were eyeing him. In another room, Mommy, I think it's not good for Auntie. I'll go see her. You stay with Sis for a bit. Okay. Then Little Bean, who was wearing a tank top and shorts, ran to find Qin Ning. Pudding, do you have anything you want to take with you? Huamin asked. Mommy, do you really think we'll leave? Pudding's words left Huamin speechless. Daddy, you mean? Pudding was about to speak, but Huamin shushed her. Then, she took out the anti-eavesdropping device from her bag and turned on the signal jammer. Then, she continued, Okay, you can speak now. Daddy's obviously trying to lure us away. He won't let us leave here and go to the States alone. He's just using this opportunity to eliminate a group of enemies who want to harm us. Pudding, you're right. That's what your daddy meant. Even an idiot can see it. Mommy loves us so much but didn't stop Daddy. You guys obviously planned this. Pudding looked at them with disdain. Your grandparents and Auntie don't know about this. If too many people know, it'll be easy to expose. I know. I won't tell Auntie and I won't tell Grandpa and Grandma. I believe Daddy will explain when the time comes. Well, my daughter, you're Mommy's pride. Huamin suddenly felt that Pudding was so smart. It was almost as if he had surpassed his younger self. So, Mommy, can I ask you a question now? Okay, tell me about it. Huamin looked at her eldest daughter with a smile, her face full of motherly love. Do you have a baby? Pudding asked seriously. Although his expression was very calm, just like an adult, his voice was still childish. When Huamin heard this, he was shocked beyond words. Pudding, why are you... Mommy, answer me first. Yes or no? Huamin hesitated for 3 seconds before finally nodding. Yes. I knew it. Looks like we're going to have a new member soon. Pudding smiled slightly. Pudding, how did you know? It depends on your reaction. Mommy, you've always had a good appetite, but recently you've been vomiting a lot. Every time you sneak into the bathroom, you don't want anyone to see you. If you have a stomach flu, you'll prepare your own medicine. But I haven't seen you take any medicine. Okay, you're so smart. Mommy is impressed. Huamin patted Pudding's head lovingly. Mommy, it's a good thing that you're pregnant. Why didn't you tell Daddy? If he knew, he'd be so happy, Pudding asked. Chapter 2653. It's a critical time. Your daddy and I have to deal with the bad guys together, so I don't want to distract him. But if you don't tell him and something happens, you won't be able to explain it to Daddy, right? I don't think so. Mommy can take care of herself. Did Mommy do a prenatal checkup? I did it secretly. Mommy's an OB-GYN. Don't worry, Pudding. Mommy, you have to take care of yourself and the baby. Pudding looked at her mommy worriedly. Huamin picked up Pudding lovingly and placed her on his lap. Oh, Mommy's pregnant now. You can't carry me. Pudding struggled to get off his lap. It's okay. The baby in Mommy's belly is still small. Nothing will happen. Pudding, do you feel like a younger brother or a younger sister? Huamin asked happily. A younger brother, of course. But Huamin was even more intrigued. Because Little Bean and I are girls. If we become nuns in the future, Daddy and Mommy will be lonely. If it's a younger brother, he can marry a wife in the future so that Daddy and Mommy won't be alone. No one will accompany them. Pudding's reason made Huamian's eyes hazy with tears. Pudding, your words really touched Mommy. I'm just saying what I think. Although a younger brother is a bit naughty, he has his advantages. Then, aren't you afraid that Daddy and Mommy will only love the younger brother and not you and Little Bean? Huamin asked tentatively. Mommy, we're not kids who don't know how to behave. We're all born from the same parents. There's no such thing as love. We're the fruits of your love and will be loved equally. It's not like you guys laid the eggs. You don't have to care about them after they're born. Huamin, okay, you win. Huamin suddenly realized that his eloquence was no match for his 3.5-year-old daughter. Wasn't it too powerful? In the other room, Little Bean said that she was going to coax Qin Ning, but on the way to her aunt's room, she saw the freshly baked egg tarts and forgot about her aunt. She followed the maid all the way to the living room and ate egg tarts in the living room. She even nestled in her grandfather's arms and ate. When Qin Ning came out of the shower, she saw several WeChat messages on her phone. Tang Chuan, Ning Ning, why aren't you answering the phone? Tang Chuan, oh my God, don't scare me. Alright, my heart can't take scares. Tang Chuan, baby Ning, did I do something wrong? Sob, please acknowledge me. Seeing Tang Chuan like this, Qin Ning's heart softened. He picked up his phone and replied, I fell asleep and just woke up. Tang Chuan, damn, you scared me to death. Can you tell me before you go to bed next time? Qin Ning, Tang Chuan, in the future? I mean, in the future, we can't be together anymore. If we break up, will you still remember me? Tang Chuan, I refuse to answer questions that won't happen, and I won't answer hypothetical questions like this. Qin Ning, I'm serious. What if we're not meant to be? Tang Chuan, then I'll go find matchmaker and get more fate for us. Qin Ning, if we break up, you'll be sad, right? Tang Chuan, no, because we can't break up at all. Qin Ning, Tang Chuan, Ning, you're weird today. What's wrong? Did something happen? Tang Chuan suddenly realized that Qin Ning was a little sad today, and his heart immediately sank. Chapter 2654. No, nothing. Don't lie to me. If there's anything wrong, just tell me. If I'm not doing a good job, just tell me. I'm really fine. I'm a little tired. I'm going to sleep. Ning. Qin Ning said that she was tired, so she really put her phone in the drawer and turned it on silent mode. No matter what Tang Chuan said, she didn't reply. This made Tang Chuan feel very uneasy. Although he had been busy with Lord Su's matter and hadn't been with her every day, he didn't feel at ease. However, it wasn't to the extent of giving her the cold shoulder. For the past 2 days, he would send her WeChat messages one after another every morning. He was especially sick of her. Qin Ning's abnormal behavior today made Tang Chuan feel uneasy. He couldn't sleep in the middle of the night, so he got up and took a cold shower. Then he made a phone call. Help me find out Ning's schedule and who she's meeting today. 20 minutes later, Tang Chuan received a call. He was furious. Where is that bitch Jining right now? Tang Chuan asked. Young Master Tang, we just found out that she's drinking at a bar in the West District. Okay, I got it. After hanging up the phone, Tang Chuan angrily drove his Ferrari straight to the Slow Yao bar in the West District. He always disdained going to places like this. As he got older, Tang Chuan didn't play as crazy as before. Most of the time, he liked to drink and chat with Wei Liao and Su Yu in private lounges. However, the people in the nightclub all knew this young Master Tang. "Oh, young Master Tang, why are you here?" "Good evening, young Master Tang." Everyone greeted him. This young master was in a bad mood and didn't even smile. Everyone was scared and made a path for him. "Is Jining here?" Tang Chuan grabbed a man's collar and asked. Yes, she's on the dance floor." The man pointed to the center of the stage. Then, Tang Chuan pulled off his tie and loosened it. Then he walked directly to the dance floor. On the stage, Jining was having a good time. She was having a dance competition with a prostitute, which made the men below scream. At this time, Tang Chuan took a big step forward, grabbed Jin Ying's collar, and pulled it down. "What are you doing?" Jin Ying was shocked. When she turned around, she saw clearly that it was Tang Chuan. Chuan, why are you here? Did you come looking for me?" The woman was overjoyed. "Did you see Qi Ning today?" Tang Chuan asked coldly. Upon hearing Tang Chuan's question, Ji Ning stopped smiling and said disdainfully, "I didn't look for her on purpose. I met her by chance." "So, what did you tell her?" "I didn't say anything." "Did that little girl complain to you? Did she say something bad about me?" Do you believe what she said?" Jin Ying was the first to accuse her. "Ning Ning didn't say anything. Do you think she's the same as you?" "Ning Ning is very innocent," Tang Chuan said angrily. "Innocent?" "Young Master Tang, stop fooling around. How can a teenage girl who can sit on the board of directors of her family be innocent? You shouldn't only listen to her side of the story. Take it out." Tang Chuan reached out his hand impatiently. "What is it?" Ji Ning played dumb. Tang Chuan didn't wait for her to finish and grabbed her phone. Then he pulled her arm and unlocked the phone. Finally, he found the video. After watching it, Tang Chuan's expression changed. He looked at Ji Ning and said, "You really put in a lot of effort to set me up? You even went to my mom." Ji Ning, not bad. You're getting more and more vicious." "Chuan, it's not like that. Listen to me. I did this because I still love you. I still want to be by your side." Ji Ning didn't expect that after a few years apart, Tang Chuan was no longer the reckless and stupid boy who could be played by her. The man in front of her was an angry beast. She was beginning to fear him. Chapter 2655. Come back to me? Do you think this is a kindergarten where you can come and go as you please? Ji Ning, I fed my heart to a dog back then. I thought you'd be fine as long as you stayed by my third uncle's side for the past few years. I didn't expect you to come out and seek death again. Chuan, I've always loved you. I married your third uncle because he drugged me and forced himself on me. I had no choice. Ji Ning always thought that Tang Chuan still had feelings for her, so she pretended to be pitiful. Are you too naive, or am I too naive? Do you think I'd believe such bullshit? Do you really think I'm an idiot? Tang Chuan scolded angrily. Chuan, believe me. Ji Ning was still begging, but Tang Chuan didn't care about her at all. He grabbed Jin Ying's neck and pressed her down onto the wooden table in the nightclub. The onlookers were scared out of their wits. Young Master Tang, forget it. Why lower yourself to a woman's level? Just do me a favor today. A middle-aged man in his 40s stood behind him. He was the owner of the nightclub. Jin Ying was a frequent customer recently, so he wanted to protect her. However, this angered Tang Chuan even more. Fuck you, I'm not going to give anyone face today. Don't you dare submit your feelings to me. I used to think that men shouldn't hit women, but today, I suddenly feel that women like you are an exception. After speaking, Tang Chuan pulled Jin Ying's hair and slammed her into a pillar on the other side. Jin Ying screamed. The onlookers were also scared out of their wits, but no one dared to stop them. Everyone knew that Tang Chuan used to have a nickname, Mr. Donkey, which meant that he had a temper like a donkey. When he got angry, the earth would shake. Other than Su Yu and Wei Liao, no one could suppress him. Unfortunately, the two of them weren't here right now. The women who came with Jin Ying were also scared out of their wits. Some ran away, while others hid in the corner and didn't dare to make a sound. No one knew how Jin Ying had provoked Tang Chuan. Chuan, I was wrong. I won't do it again. Please forgive me. Jin Ying begged with tears streaming down her face. Forgiving you is something God does, and my duty is to send you to God. Tang Chuan was furious. In fact, in the past few years, although he resented Jin Ying, it was because Jin Ying had been with him once, so he didn't want to kill her. If he wanted to do something to her, she wouldn't have been able to survive until now. However, this woman was not satisfied. She had always thought that Tang Chuan still had feelings for her. Therefore, if one didn't seek death, they wouldn't die. Help. Call the police. Hurry up. Jin Ying screamed for help when she saw that Tang Chuan had lost his mind. A few rich kids who knew Tang Chuan were also scared silly. Hurry up and call Lord Su. Young Master Tang listens to Lord Su the most. Are you stupid? Lord Su is still in the Municipal Public Security Bureau. He's being detained. Another man was also anxious. Then what should we do? If this continues, she'll die. Hurry up and call young Master Wei, one of the rich kids shouted. 15 minutes later, Wei Liao arrived. This was one of the few times he drove a sports car because it was an emergency. Wei Liao drove his orange-yellow Lamborghini all the way to the nightclub. In only 15 minutes, he ran countless red lights. Jin Ying wasn't fated to die. When Wei Liao arrived, he grabbed Tang Chuan's collar and pulled him back. Let go of me. Tang Chuan didn't know who it was, but he tried to shake him off. You're crazy. Wei Liao roared. Chapter 2656. After seeing that it was Wei Liao, Tang Chuan finally came back to his senses. If you keep doing this, she's going to die. Wei Liao pointed at the woman on the floor and cursed. She deserved to die. Tang Chuan said confidently. In fact, he didn't do this to Jin Ying himself. He pulled her hair and slammed it against the pillar on the table. You killed her in front of everyone. Do you think you can get away with it? Is it worth it for someone like her? After Wei Liao said this, Tang Chuan lowered his head and didn't say anything else. He had just regained a bit of his rationality. Call an ambulance and send her to the hospital. We will settle this privately. We'll pay for it. But if anyone dares to leak this out and make a big deal out of it, don't blame me for not showing mercy. Wei Liao's domineering words shocked everyone. 5 minutes later, the ambulance arrived and took Jin Ying to the hospital. Wei Liao dragged Tang Chuan into the car and left the nightclub. Then, they went to a private club owned by the Wei family. Wei Liao drank with Tang Chuan. Chuan, we've been brothers for years. I'll get straight to the point. Lord Su is still in the Municipal Public Security Bureau. I don't know how he's doing. Tell me, what are you doing? Jin Ying, that bitch, is pushing me too far. She's been living a good life for the past few years, but when have you ever seen me talk to her? Tang Chuan took a sip of wine, depressed. Why did you go crazy this time? Is it because of Jin Ying? Wei Liao guessed. Tang Chuan didn't say anything and took another sip of wine. Jin Ying sent a WeChat message to Tang Chuan, saying that she was tired and was going to bed. The truth was, she didn't sleep well last night. At 6 in the morning, she sent a WeChat message to Tang Chuan with an emoji. Tang Chuan didn't reply, which made her even angrier. After getting up and packing up, she planned to go to Tang Chuan's villa to look for him later. When she went downstairs, she saw Huamin eating breakfast alone. Good morning, sister-in-law. Morning, Ning Ning. Where's my brother? Qin Ning was curious. Her brother woke up early every day at this time. Your brother has already gone out. So early? Qin Ning was surprised. Well, maybe I've been busy recently. Oh. Qin Ning sat beside Huamin and picked up a cup of warm milk as she spoke slowly. You don't look too good. Did you not sleep well last night? You have dark circles under your eyes? Oh, maybe it's the time difference, Qin Ning said perfunctorily. At that moment, Huamin's phone rang. Xiaowei? What? There's such a thing. Oh my God, what happened to Tang Chuan? Okay, I got it. I'll tell Ning Ning. After speaking, Huamin hung up the phone with a serious expression. Seeing Huamin's expression, Qin Ning was scared out of her wits. She thought that Tang Chuan was in an accident. Sister-in-law, what happened? Something happened to Tang Chuan last night. What happened? Did he get into a car accident? Qin Ning was so scared that she was about to cry. She grabbed Huamin's hand with so much force that Huamin frowned in pain. Don't worry, it's not a car accident. Tang Chuan beat up Jining last night for some reason and almost killed her. Later, Wei Liao went and talked him out of it, but he was in a bad mood and kept drinking with Wei Liao. Later, Wei Liao was trapped in the private room of the club and fell asleep. When Xiaowei went over this morning, she found that Tang Chuan had gastric bleeding and sent him to the hospital. Gastric bleeding? Oh my god. Which hospital is he in right now? Qi Ning covered her mouth, completely ignoring the fact that he beat up Ji Ning. At South Side. Sister-in-law, let's go now. I want to see him. Qi Ning was in a hurry. Chapter 2657. When Qi Ning and Huamin arrived at South Side, the sun had just risen. I'm going to the office to change into my uniform, Huamin said. Hey, it's already so late. Sister-in-law, can you come with me to see Tang Chuan first? Qi Ning grabbed Huamin's hand. Look at how impatient you are. You're not reserved at all. Huamin teased her on purpose. How can I be reserved when I'm in love? Plus, when you were in love with my brother, you were even more lovey-dovey than us. Huamin was speechless. Just like that, under Qi Ning's constant pestering, Huamin followed Qi Ning to see Tang Chuan before he had time to change out of his uniform. Tang Chuan lived in VIP 6 and enjoyed the treatment of an emperor. Those who knew him would think he was there to recuperate, but those who didn't would think he was there to gain weight. Good morning, Vice Director. Good morning, Vice Director Hua. On the way, all the doctors and nurses greeted Huamin warmly. Huamin, on the other hand, only wore a simple white short-sleeved shirt, black harem pants, and flats. Then he wore a black Korean-style windbreaker and his black-rimmed glasses. He looked very cute. Although he didn't have the elegant and intellectual temperament he had before, he still looked much younger. Ever since Zhang Manlin deliberately imitated Huamin's clothes, her taste and style had changed. Why are you standing at the door? Huamin said with a smile. Sister-in-law, you go in first. What? Are you two having a fight? Huamin asked Qi Ning, sensing something was wrong. Not really. Anyway, you go in first. Qi Ning began to hesitate. Huamin had no choice but to push the door open and walk in. Inside, Tang Chuan was eating breakfast and the caregiver was mopping the floor. Sister-in-law, why are you here? Tang Chuan was a little surprised. I heard it from Xiaowei. What happened? You've never been drunk before. How did you get gastragic? Huamin asked deliberately. Mistake. Tang Chuan replied with a smile as he craned his neck to look out the door. What are you looking at? Huamin asked deliberately. I'm fine. Are you disappointed that Ning Ning didn't come? After all, I didn't tell Ning Ning. She's always anxious. If she knew, she'd probably be worried about me, Tang Chuan said narcissistically. Who's worried about you? It's better if you're dead. I'll let you drink so you won't learn from your mistakes. Qi Ning couldn't hold it in any longer as she pushed open the door and walked in. Seeing Qi Ning walk in, Tang Chuan was so excited that he almost jumped out of bed. Hey, what are you doing? You can't move. You're still on in 4 drip. Huamin immediately stopped Tang Chuan. Oh my god, you're really here? Tang Chuan's face was full of joy. Yeah, to see if you're dead. Qi Ning purposely put on a dark face. Of course not. If I'm dead, you'll be a widow. Don't be so shameless. Fine, I'm not married to you yet, Qi Ning scolded. Ning Ning, my hand hurts. Can you feed me some congee? I'm so hungry. Tang Chuan began to act like a spoiled child. In your dreams, you're just suffering from gastragic. It's not like you lost an arm or a leg. Qi Ning retorted. Do you have the heart to do that? Forget it, I won't eat. I'll just starve. Tang Chuan looked at the congee pitifully. Qi Ning's heart immediately softened. Look at you acting like a spoiled child. I knew you'd be fine. Okay, you two have your fun. I'm going to work. Huamin shook his head helplessly and walked out of the room. At this time, Tang Chuan was even more brazen. He pulled Qi Ning's face and kissed her. What are you doing? Qi Ning bit her lips shyly. Chapter 2658. What am I doing? Can't I kiss my wife? Tang Chuan said matter-of-factly. How many times do I have to tell you, Tang Chuan? We haven't even gotten our marriage certificate yet. I'm not your wife yet. So you're blaming me for not proposing? Huh, then I'll propose right now. Let's go get our marriage certificate right now, okay? Tang Chuan held Qi Ning's hand tightly. You really want to marry me? Qi Ning looked up at him. Of course. Then, let me ask you, if I'm not Qi Ning, would you still want to marry me? Qi Ning asked again. Tang Chuan was dumbfounded. No, Ning, what do you mean? I'm confused. What do you mean you're not Qi Ning? Did the Qin family adopt you? Or Qin Chu's second uncle adopted you? Tang Chuan's imagination ran wild. No, what I mean is, if I'm just an ordinary girl, not the heiress of the Qin family, and not a member of GK's board of directors, would you still want to marry me? Tang Chuan finally understood what she meant after hearing her words. He slowly withdrew his hand from Qi Ning's hand, and his expression slowly fell. So, you think? I want to marry you because of your heiress status, and because I want your family's money? Qi Ning obviously didn't have the confidence to answer Tang Chuan's question. Ning, you're younger than me, so you're not mature enough to ask such a hurtful question. I won't blame you for now. Let's talk about a more obvious question. Do you think I need money? Qi Ning shook her head. Then do you think I want power? Not really. Qi Ning knew that Tang Chuan didn't even want to manage his own company. He preferred to be free and unrestrained, as happy as a bird. Or do you think you're the only heiress in the world, the only woman who's suitable for me? Tang Chuan asked sharply. That's not it. If you're looking for a rich girl, there are many candidates. I know you've always been good with women, Qi Ning replied expressionlessly. So, Ning, I think a smart person like you shouldn't ask me such a stupid question. To be honest, your question pisses me off. I feel like I'm an idiot right now. We've been together for a long time. How can you not know me and ask such a stupid question? Tang Chuan said. Qi Ning bit her lip and hesitated. At this moment, Tang Chuan suddenly thought of something. He looked up and asked her, So, it's because of the video that Qi Ning showed you, isn't it? Do you mind what my mother said? Qi Ning hesitated for a few seconds before nodding obediently. I knew it. I knew that woman was the most despicable. I should have just ripped her mouth apart. Tang Chuan was a little angry. Could it be that the video is fake? Did Qi Ning wrongly accuse your mother? Qi Ning asked in displeasure. No, the video is real. My mother didn't lie about what she said. Tang Chuan tried to explain patiently. So, I have a reason to suspect your family's motive for marrying me, right? I don't think what I did was despicable, Qi Ning questioned calmly. Chapter 2659. Yes, you can doubt my family, my parents, and my family members, but Ning, you shouldn't doubt my sincerity towards you. You're not a kid anymore. Can't you feel how I treat you? All these years, I've never tried to get close to a woman for any other reason. There are many young stars in the industry, and I can play with any female artist under Lord Su's company for free. Why should I waste my time on you and carefully coax you? I'm not good at being cheap. The fact that Tang Chuan said those words proved that he was really angry. You're right, but what your mother said really hurt me. Whether or not Qi Ning recorded it on purpose, I'm really unhappy. Rest well, I'm going to go now. I don't want to fight with you. After speaking, Qi Ning turned and left. Tang Chuan pulled out the 4-drip from his hand, causing blood to flow out. Auntie, who was so scared that she screamed, Blood! There's so much blood. Qi Ning turned around and saw the scene. Her face was extremely pale. Tang Chuan, what are you doing? Qi Ning lost control and yelled. Aren't you leaving? Why do you care if I die? Just go. Tang Chuan was also angry. Because of the rolling needle, there was a big bump on the back of his hand. The 4-drip was also all over the floor, mixed with blood. It was a heart-wrenching sight. Nurse, come and take a look. Qi Ning didn't have time to argue with Tang Chuan. She opened the door and called for the nurse. When the nurse came in, she took a look and said, "It's okay. It's just a rolling needle. You can use the other hand. All of you get out." "I'm not doing it. I'm leaving the hospital in a bit." Tang Chuan was also angry. "You and Su Yu are really good friends. I heard that Su Yu has a bad temper, but it seems like you're even worse than him," Qi Ning said. "If you don't want to see me, you can leave," Tang Chuan said angrily. "I'm not leaving. You don't own the hospital. It's none of your business," Qi Ning said deliberately. Tang Chuan, "Qi Ning, are you a 3-year-old? Tang Chuan looked at her angrily. "No, I'm an adult in my 20s, but I'm willing to do what children do. This is called finding the lost innocence." Qi Ning raised her chin and looked at him provocatively. "You, what do you think?" Qi Ning had a "what can you do to me" look on her face. Tang Chuan was completely defeated. After the nurse watched the two people in front of her torture each other, she quietly left without saying a word. 10 minutes later, under Qi Ning's stern gaze, Tang Chuan pierced his other hand. In exchange, Qi Ning sat on the edge of the bed and fed him porridge. "Hey, Tang Chuan, how did you know that I watched the video Qi Ning gave me?" Qi Ning was angry just now, so she didn't pay attention to these details. But now that she thought about it carefully, she didn't tell him that Qi Ning came looking for her, nor did she tell him about the video. But why did he seem to know everything? My divine foresight. Don't talk nonsense. Tell me the truth. Hey, I did find out. Seeing how strange you were, I knew something was wrong. I checked your schedule that day and knew that you met Qi Ning. Then I went to find her and found the video on her phone. And then? Hearing that Tang Chuan went to find Qi Ning's heart was still slightly jealous. Chapter 2660. Then I beat her up. You actually hit a woman? Qi Ning looked at him in disbelief. Come on, that's not a normal woman, okay? Plus, everyone has a bottom line. You're my bottom line, but she kept on doing it. I've tolerated it for a long time. Just because she's a woman doesn't mean she can commit murder and arson. If she's forgiven, wouldn't the world be a mess? Tang Chuan rolled his eyes. Qi Ning thought about it carefully and felt that what he said made sense. Didn't you feel bad when you hit her? Babe, don't mess around. If I felt bad, why would I hit her? Plus, I didn't hit her. Let me correct you, I beat her up, Tang Chuan said shamelessly as he ate his porridge. Okay, you win. Qi Ning looked helpless. Inside his office, Huamin picked up his notebook and was about to go check on the situation. Just then, Xianxia walked in and said, Chief, there's a forensic doctor from the city bureau. He said he wants to examine Dr. Lu Zhe's injuries. You should go take a look. Oh really? I'll go take a look. Knowing that Lin Mingyu was here, Huamin was a little excited. After all, this was a key piece of evidence that could prove Su Yu's innocence. She hurriedly put on her white coat and went downstairs. Lin Mingyu was just in front of Lu Zhe's room. Forensic Dr. Lin. Vice Director Hua. Lin Mingyu spoke in a formal tone. An assistant followed behind him with the necessary equipment in his hands. Thank you for coming. Huamin sincerely expressed his gratitude. You're welcome, Vice Director. It's my job. Let's go. Lin Mingyu pushed the door open and walked in. Lu Zhe was watching the morning news. He was a little annoyed when he saw strangers barging in. Who are you? Who let you in? Lu Zhe's temper was not small either. Let me introduce myself. I'm a forensic doctor specially hired by the city bureau, Lin Mingyu. Forensic doctor? Why are you looking for me? Aren't you supposed to work with corpses? I'm not dead yet. Did you walk into the wrong room? Lu Zhe scolded. I asked him to come, Huamin said seriously as he walked out from behind. Vice Principal, what do you mean by this? Why did you find a forensic doctor for no reason? I need to focus on recuperating now. Do you understand? I know, but I think there are still many suspicious points in this case, so I invited Dr. Lin to examine your injuries. Injury examination? Are you kidding me? Don't tell me that this kind of thing isn't done by our hospital. Why do we need a forensic doctor? Lu Zhe smirked coldly, his face full of disdain. Of course, our hospital can do it, but we don't have the authority of Medical Examiner Lin. Nonsense, I'm not accepting any medical examination. Get out. Lu Zhe had lost his patience. You have no right to refuse, unless you cancel the charges against Su Yu, Huamin said righteously. Tease? Vice President, I'm the one who sued your sweetheart. Are you worried? Are you anxious? Huamin heard his words, but he did not get angry. He just looked at him quietly. Lin Mingyu took out a certificate from his briefcase and threw it on the bed in front of Lu Zhe. What is this? He asked. This is the certificate of injury examination from the city bureau. I'm following the orders of the bureau's director to examine your injuries. You better cooperate, Lin Mingyu said bluntly. You think you can prove Su Yu's innocence by examining his injuries? You're too naive, Lu Zhe sneered. Medical examiner Lin's time is precious. Dr. Lu, you'd better cut the crap and cooperate with us. Don't say such shameless things to me after the results are out, Huamian said calmly. Chapter 2661. Lu Zhe always thought that his method was foolproof. Even if the wound was examined again, no one would be able to tell anything. After that night when he was stabbed by the mysterious man, Lu Zhe wanted to frame Su Yu even more. So, he made up his mind and stabbed the wound with his own fruit knife. Therefore, the wound on the surface was caused by the fruit knife. When Lu Zhe used the fruit knife, he wore a water mask so that no fingerprints were left behind. After Su Yu entered the room, he instinctively picked up the bloody fruit knife and became the culprit. Lu Zhe's method was vicious. Doctors only looked at the surface of the wound and would not look too deeply into it. As a forensic doctor, Lin Mingyu was very strict and took care of many details well. Moreover, he was a forensic doctor specially hired by the city bureau. This was why Huamin came to him. Lu Zhe cooperated and stayed still. Lin Mingyu's assistant took out all the necessary equipment. Lin Mingyu put on a mask and gloves and began to examine the wound. Huamin stood aside and watched quietly. At the same time, he had to endure Lu Zhe's mockery and contempt. Vice President, tell me, why is your life so good? There are so many men who are head over heels for you. Logically speaking, your looks aren't that great, and your personality isn't that gentle. Could it be, because your skills in bed are good, that's why men can't resist you? Lu Zhe wanted to avenge Zhao Xia so much that his mind was clouded by hatred. Therefore, he didn't hate Huamin at first. However, because he wanted to help Su Yu, he suddenly hated him. Therefore, the words that came out of his mouth were extremely unpleasant. Huamin already knew what he was thinking. He didn't want to argue with him. His face was calm and he had no intention of refuting. However, Lin Mingyu couldn't take it anymore. He subconsciously pressed hard on Lu Zhe's wound. Aya, what are you doing? Don't you know how to be gentle? Lu Zhe turned around and glared at Lin Mingyu. You're a man. Why are you acting like a woman? If all the men in our country were like you, when we fought against the US and aided North Korea on the battlefield, wouldn't we have been laughed at by the US military? Really? Mr. Forensic Doctor, have I offended you in any way? Lu Zhe asked straightforwardly as he noticed Lin Mingyu's bad attitude. Then why do I feel like you have something against me? Lu Zhe narrowed his eyes at Lin Mingyu. You're worrying too much. I've always done things by the book. Lin Mingyu's tone was completely formulaic. Lu Zhe couldn't do anything about it. His wound was hurting him, and he wasn't in the mood to continue scolding Huamin. With Huamin's EQ, she could tell that Lin Mingyu had purposely hurt Lu Zhe because he was mocking her. Huamin suddenly felt that although Lin Mingyu looked cold, he actually had a good heart. Unfortunately, they couldn't be friends anymore. Huamin wasn't a saint either. She wasn't going to be friends with every man who liked her. That would be unfair to Mr. Qin. Su Yu, on the other hand, was an exception. To Huamian, Su Yu was her and the twins' savior. Over the past few years, they owed each other a great debt of gratitude. She would never forget how the Su family extended a helping hand and took her in when she was at her most difficult time. 20 minutes later. Okay, it's done. Lin Mingyu took off his mask and let out a sigh of relief. Lu Zhe rolled up his sleeves impatiently. Dr. Lin, what's the result? Huamin looked at Lin Mingyu anxiously. Chapter 2662. Let's talk outside. Why do we have to talk outside? Do you guys have some kind of secret? Why don't we talk here? When Lu Zhe heard that Lin Mingyu wanted to talk outside, he felt guilty for some reason. Therefore, he wanted to announce the results here. Lin Mingyu glanced at Huamin, waiting for her opinion. Then let's announce it here. I believe in Dr. Lin's fairness. Huamin nodded. Lin Mingyu took off his gloves and said slowly, Vice Director Hua's guess is correct. There is indeed something wrong with his wound. What do you mean? Speak clearly. Don't try to slander me. Lu Zhe continued to yell. The knife wound that injured his tendons and veins was not caused by a fruit knife. If I'm not mistaken, it was caused by a limited edition military dagger produced by a German factory in 1997. That dagger was extremely sharp and could cut through iron like mud. The person who injured him was after his life. What nonsense are you talking about? Lu Zhe's expression changed. Don't be hasty. I'm not done yet. On the surface of the wound, there is a superficial wound caused by a fruit knife. However, the fruit knife's wound is very shallow. It's not enough to cut through the tendons. Very good. Huamin nodded in satisfaction. It seemed that her guess was correct. But you can't say that Su Yu isn't guilty just because he didn't cut my tendons. He tried to hurt me with a knife, so he's guilty of attempted murder. Lu Zhe was adamant that Su Yu wanted to hurt him. Lin Mingyu glanced at Lu Zhe coldly and continued, that's the crux of the problem. Even though Su Yu's fingerprints were on the fruit knife, Su Yu didn't do it. That's impossible. How can you clear his name? There were only the two of us in the room. If he didn't do it, then did I do it myself? Lu Zhe refused to back down. That's right. You did it yourself. Don't forget that the angle and strength you used to cut yourself is completely different from the angle and strength other people use to cut you. I've been a forensic doctor for many years and have seen hundreds of thousands of knife wounds. I can do an experiment to verify this point, Lin Mingyu said calmly. You're lying. You've wronged me. Lu Zhe panicked. I've never wronged myself. I'm a qualified forensic doctor. All right, Dr. Lin, I have a rough idea of the results. Thank you for your hard work. You're welcome. It's what I should do. I'll go back to the city bureau to write a report and submit it. Okay, let's talk later. Huamin politely said goodbye to Lin Mingyu. After Lin Mingyu left with his assistant, Huamin returned to the ward. Don't think that just a few words from a forensic doctor will be enough to clear Su Yu's name. It's not that simple. Lu Zhe refused to admit defeat. Huamin only smiled faintly. What are you laughing at? Lu Zhe knew that Huamin was famous for being calm and quick-witted, so when she smiled like that, he felt a chill run down his spine. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's talk about the past. Lu Zhe didn't say anything. He simply glanced at Huamin. Your girlfriend is very pretty, Huamin said. Lu Zhe's expression changed slightly. He couldn't hide the panic in his eyes. What are you talking about? I don't have a girlfriend. The whole world knows that I'm single, Lu Zhe argued. If you say that, what would the late Zhao Xia think? Would she be sad? Lu Zhe's eyes widened as he stared at Huamin, but he couldn't say anything. Chapter 2663. Lu Zhe didn't expect Huamin to know so much. You didn't expect this, did you? Huamin smiled faintly. Huamin, you're really smart. Lu Zhe narrowed his eyes and looked at Huamin calmly. He no longer called her the hypocritical vice director, he called her Huamian. This has nothing to do with being smart. If you were more observant, you would have noticed. I know Su Yu very well. He would never do something like that, and you wouldn't accuse him for no reason. There's only one reason for you to frame him, and that's because you hate him to begin with. Lu Zhe was about to speak when Huamin continued. Don't worry, I didn't bring a recording pen, and I won't record our conversation. I wouldn't do such a low-level thing. So, you can talk to me casually. You don't have to be so careful. Oh, okay, I believe you. Your character is guaranteed. When did you find out? Lu Zhe asked with a smile. Not long ago. To be honest, I was surprised at first. I didn't expect you to be Zhao Xia's boyfriend. Huamin looked at Lu Zhe calmly. You know Yaya too? When Zhao Xia was mentioned, Lu Zhe's eyes unconsciously became gentle. No, I don't know her. But when she got into trouble, I was coincidentally outside Su Yu's mansion. Although I didn't meet her directly, I indirectly became Su Yu's witness and proved his innocence. Lu Zhe's eyes became gloomy. He looked at Huamin with slight hatred. Yeah, how could I forget? Yaya wanted to use her death to avenge her sister and ruin Su Yu's reputation. But because you testified, Yaya died in vain. Huamin, how could you and Su Yu live in peace after all these years? Lu Zhe was agitated. Although Zhao Xia's death had happened more than 4 years ago, it felt like it happened just yesterday. Lu Zhe, let me correct you. I'm not trying to shirk responsibility. Zhao Xia's death had nothing to do with me. She did it because she wanted to avenge her sister. She didn't do anything wrong, but what she did was a little extreme. Plus, did you really investigate why Su Yu sent Zhao Qingya to prison? Huamin stared at Lu Zhe. Lu Zhe didn't say anything. What Zhao Qingya did at that time was beyond human morality. If I didn't retaliate, I would be a complete coward. So, Zhao Qingya didn't go to prison on purpose. She deserved it. In a country, there are laws that must be obeyed. When a person makes a mistake, they should be punished accordingly. So, whether it's Zhao Qingya or Zhao Xia, their fate can't be blamed on Su Yu. You're Su Yu's friend. Of course you have to speak up for Su Yu. Lu Zhe was a little angry. No, this isn't about friends. I'm looking at this from a fair point of view. Fair? There's no such thing as fairness in this world. To me, the moment Yaya died, my world had already collapsed. Lu Zhe was devastated. So, you're willing to sacrifice your future to avenge a dead person, no matter the cost? Huamin looked at Lu Zhe sympathetically. Chapter 2664. Huamin, you're not me, so you won't feel the same way. If something happened to Qin Chu, you'd probably want to destroy the whole world, right? Lu Zhe sneered. Yes, you're right. I love Mr. Qin very much. If something happened to him, I'd want the whole world to die with him. But, that's just a thought, I won't do it. I won't implicate the innocent. I'm deeply sorry about Zhao Xia's death, but if you want to make Su Yu the scapegoat because of this, then I'm sorry, but you've miscalculated. It seems like I'm not as good as you. That's why I failed. I thought it was because my plan was meticulous enough. Lu Zhe said regretfully. You're very meticulous, but I'm also a doctor. It's normal for people to make mistakes. You're smart, but sometimes you're too smart for your own good. Even if Dr. Lin didn't come to examine your wounds today, I still have a way to prove Lu Zhe's innocence. That's not why I came to talk to you today. I have a more important question to ask you. Huamin crossed his arms and walked closer to Lu Zhe's bedside. Lu Zhe raised his head and looked into Huamin's clear eyes. Who did that fatal stab? Huamin asked. I really don't know. I didn't see the person's face clearly, Lu Zhe replied. Judging by his expression, he didn't seem to be lying. Huamin frowned slightly. That's strange. You just came back not long ago and don't have any enemies. Who would want you dead? The neighborhood I live in is famous for being rich. Could it be a robber? Lu Zhe guessed. But nothing was stolen from your house. Plus, your neighborhood has always been very safe. How powerful would the robber have to be able to cut off your security system, follow you upstairs, and then kill you? I think he wanted you dead. Now that you mention it, I remember that he said he didn't want money, he just wanted me dead. Lu Zhe suddenly recalled the conversation he had with the mysterious person that day. Think carefully. Do you have any enemies? I really don't. That's strange. Anyway, you should be careful. Huamin's expression was serious. It doesn't matter. I thought I could slowly trip Su Yu, and then I'd be able to answer to Yaya. You're so silly. I think that if you and Zhao Xia were truly in love, she would want you to live. Well, of life is precious because we only have one chance. This isn't a game where you can revive or restart after you die. You don't have to persuade me. I won't give up my revenge just because of your words. Dr. Lu, you're thinking too much. I don't have the heart of a saint to persuade you or influence you. I'm just stating facts. It doesn't matter to me whether you listen to me or not. I won't give up on revenge. Even if Su Yu escapes this time, I'll go after him in the future. Up to you, but if you insist on appealing this time, you have to think carefully. Once Su Yu clears his name, he'll immediately sue you for framing him. Then, you'll be the one in jail. Lu Zhe didn't say anything after hearing this. Okay, I've said enough for today. Think about the rest. Then Huamin turned around and walked out. Huamin, I'm so jealous of Su Yu, Lu Zhe suddenly said fiercely. Huamin stopped in his tracks. He knew that Lu Zhe had more to say. Chapter 2665. Why would I be jealous of Su Yu? Huamin wondered if it was because of Su Yu's status as a prince. Was it because of power and money? Because he has a friend who treats him the way you do, Lu Zhe said slowly. Huamin opened her mouth but didn't know what to say. She had heard a lot of compliments, but hearing Lu Zhe's acknowledgement of her in a situation like this was a strange feeling. Before Huamin could say anything, Lu Zhe continued. Before I came back to China, I heard someone say something interesting. What was it? Huamin turned around. Whoever gets Huamin wins the world. He said. Huamin, so, shouldn't you be jealous of my husband, Qin Chu? Huamin asked back. No, Qin Chu has already reached a point where I can't be jealous of him. You've known him since you were young, how can your friendship be compared to others? The reason I'm jealous of Su Yu is because out of all the suitors around you, some failed to confess and were rejected, some were secretly in love and didn't dare to say it out loud, and some schemed but didn't even get a smile from you. Only Su Yu was able to confess his feelings to you, and he was able to be your friend and quietly stay by your side for 4 years. Most importantly, when something happened to him, you were the first one to stand up for him. It's enough to have a friend like you in my life. Lu Zhe's eyes were filled with envy and jealousy as he spoke. Huamin finally understood what he was trying to say. In the end, Huamin didn't say anything and turned around to leave the room. On her way back to her office, she took out her phone and suddenly posted something on her WeChat friend circle. I heard that whoever gets Huamin wins the world. But do you think the world is that easy to get? Zhu Lingling, you little joker, you're in a good mood today. You actually posted something on your WeChat friend circle. Gao Ran replied to Zhu Lingling, honey, pay attention to your image as the director's wife. Huamin replied to the poster above, you too go home and flaunt your love. There's no charge here. Jixin, sis, does that mean I was born with half the world? I grew up with you. Huamin replied to Jixin, of course. Therefore, you have to burn incense and kowtow to be thankful that you are my younger brother. Tang Chuan, sister-in-law is mighty and domineering, nothing wrong with that. Qin Ning replied to Tang Chuan, don't flatter me. This is Little Bean's specialty. Little Bean replied to Qin Ning, Auntie, I got shot while I was taking a dump. Can you not mention me all of a sudden? I feel so wronged. Pudding, in my opinion, the moment I was born, I could easily own the world. Huamin replied, Mwah. Jiang Xiaowei, it's so lively today. Looks like Mian is in a good mood today. Huamin replied to Jiang Xiaowei, of course, it's done. Jiang Xiaowei replied to Huamin, Mian is so cool. That's awesome, huh? Huamin replied to Jiang Xiaowei, I really have to thank Lin Mingyu in person later. Zhu Lingling, what are you two talking about? I don't understand a single word. Huamin replied to Zhu Lingling, you'll understand soon. At this moment, Qin Chu was in a cafe, listening to Zhang Manlin's report on Huo Xiqian's recent situation. Zhang Manlin was talking excitedly, but Qin Chu wasn't in the mood to listen. He lowered his head and played with his phone. When he saw Huamin's post, he couldn't help but laugh. Just as he was about to comment, he suddenly remembered that they were still pretending to be in a Cold War. Therefore, he had no choice but to hold back and send Huamin a private message. It's not easy to get the world. That's why I struggled for so many years. Chapter 2666. Upon seeing this, Min laughed out loud. So, you're thanking me for your hard work? I wouldn't dare, I'm just stating facts. So, the man who has the world, do you have anything to say to me right now? Thank you to my party, thank you to CCTV, thank you to my mother-in-law for having a good daughter, thank you to my daughter for having a good mother. Ha ha. Min laughed out loud when he saw this. Chief, are you okay? Xianxia was shocked when she came in to deliver the documents. She rarely saw Min laugh like this. I'm fine, I'm fine. Min waved his hand. Then she immediately replied to Qin Chu, Honey, what's wrong with you today? Why are you so funny? I used to be like this too, Mr. Qin said proudly. You didn't? You used to be so serious. Your aura was so cold that it could freeze people. I suspect I'm chatting with a fake husband. Mian, you've been quite grumpy lately. I've always been grumpy. It's not like you don't know me well. Okay, eat your food, I'll stop talking. Qin Chu didn't dare to text Min too often. So, after a few words, they stopped talking. However, upon seeing how happy Qin Chu was with his head down, Zhang Manlin couldn't help but ask. President Qin, what's making you so happy? Continue. The moment Qin Chu looked up, his face returned to its usual coldness. He said he's going to marry Yan Ruoxi, it's true. What's the purpose of marriage? Qin Chu raised his eyebrows. He said he's going to use Yan Ruoxi's father's power to expand his business and try to beat you in business, Zhang Manlin said slowly. Are you sure? Qin Chu looked at Zhang Manlin in confusion. He told me himself, I'm not lying to you, President Qin, Zhang Manlin explained anxiously. What's the rush? Did I say I don't believe you? I just think that Huasiqian didn't do things like this in the past. Defeating me in business is a little cowardly. Maybe he wants to change his strategy, Zhang Manlin argued. All right, I understand. Then, can we eat now? I'm starving. Zhang Manlin smiled like a blooming flower. Eat by yourself. I still have things to do. After that, Qin Chu took out his wallet and took out a dozen 100 yuan bills and placed them on the table. Then, he got up and left. Qin Chu? Zhang Manlin looked at Qin Chu's back with disappointment. When Min is no longer by your side, you'll know how good I am. Zhang Manlin, I'll make you fall in love with me sooner or later. I don't believe that you won't fall in love with me when I'm prettier and younger than Min. After Qin Chu left, Zhang Manlin was no longer in the mood to eat. She picked up the money, paid the bill, and left in a hurry. Late at night, outside the Hua mansion, Miss Yen, why are you here? Oh, I couldn't sleep at home. I suddenly thought of some wedding details and wanted to discuss it with Xianxian. Miss Yen, you should go back. The boss isn't seeing any guests today. Am I a guest? I'm the woman who's going to marry him. I'll be your boss's wife. Yan Ruoxi was a little angry. Miss Yen, I'm not trying to make it difficult for you, but you really can't. Big Brother Qing said so, really. Qing? Ask him to come out. Miss Yen, I'm here. Qing walked out with a strange expression on his face. I want to see Xianxian. Tell your men to get out of the way. Yan Ruoxi had a temper. No, the boss isn't seeing any guests right now. Qing's tone was very firm, which surprised Yan Ruoxi. Chapter 2667. Qing, how dare you look down on me like this? Yan Ruoxi had never been humiliated like this before. Huasiqian didn't even bother to talk to her. But now, even Huasiqian's dog was being so arrogant. As the mayor's daughter, Yan Ruoxi was enraged. I'm not looking down on you, Miss Yen. Qing's tone was serious and his face was stern. Then let me in. No. Do you believe that I'll ask my daddy to charge you with something and kill you? Yan Ruoxi cursed. Qing was silent. Yan Ruoxi walked toward the door directly, but Qing stopped her with a firm grip. Miss Yen, I'm doing this for your own good. I hope you know what's best for you. Qing glared at Yan Ruoxi. For my own good? I don't need you to do this for me. Yan Ruoxi said angrily. No, I can't let you in at this time. Miss Yen, I'm just a subordinate and I have to listen to my boss. Please don't make things difficult for us. Okay, let's go. Really, we're doing this for your own good. Cheng looked helpless. He didn't know how such a stupid woman like Yen Ruashi could exist in this world. Although he didn't like Mo Shui, her EQ and IQ were much better than Yen Ruashi's. Seeing that Cheng wouldn't let her in, Yen Ruashi suddenly had an idea and shouted upstairs, Qianqian, Huasiqian, Miss Yen, do you want to die? Cheng's expression changed. Qianqian, I want to go in. Make them go away. Yen Ruashi ignored Cheng's warning and continued to yell at the top of her lungs. Cheng didn't care about his manners and covered Yen Ruashi's mouth with his hand, trying to stop her from making any noise. Yen Ruashi had a bad temper and bit Cheng's hand between his thumb and index finger. Cheng screamed and let go of his hand. Yen Ruashi took advantage of Cheng's distraction and ran upstairs. Miss Yen, come back, you can't go. Cheng frowned. No matter how hard he tried to warn her, Yen Ruashi wouldn't listen. She was determined to see Huasiqian, and she had to see him. Cheng covered his wound and was about to rush forward to pull Yen Ruashi down. At the end of the corridor on the second floor, a cold voice suddenly sounded. Let her come up. Boss. Cheng seemed to be scared. All of you leave. All right. Cheng refused to take another step forward. Yen Ruashi walked forward proudly. However, she suddenly stopped in her tracks. Just now, the person who spoke, was that Huasiqian? If that wasn't the case, Cheng wouldn't have called him boss and listened to him. But if it was Huasiqian, why did his voice sound different from usual? His voice was usually mellow and gentle, but just now, his voice was clearly a little hoarse, and even a little piercing at the end. The corridor on the second floor was dimly lit. At the end of the corridor was the place where the voice came from. It was the room Huasiqian usually didn't let her go near. She didn't know what was in there. Now that she felt that she was walking down step by step, she suddenly felt a little regretful. Cheng was so against her coming up. Could it be that he was really different from usual? Yen Ruashi approached step by step. When she reached the door, she realized that it was open. She felt a chill down her spine and her scalp started to tingle. At this moment, she suddenly regretted coming up. Chapter 2668. Qianqian, are you in there? Yen Ruashi asked weakly when she reached the door. But there was no response. She walked in carefully and found that the lights were dim. It was an empty house, except for the gray walls, there was nothing. Yen Ruashi walked in slowly and looked at the walls. Suddenly, she found that there were scratches on the walls. The scratches looked like they were made by a ferocious beast. Seeing this, she felt like she was going to suffocate. She was about to cry. Qianqian, come out. I'm so scared. Yen Ruashi's voice trembled slightly. Suddenly, she heard the sound of a door closing behind her. Yen Ruashi was so scared that she leaned against the wall and didn't dare to move. Then, the secret door on the opposite wall opened, and she watched as a black, furry creature walked out with ferocious movements. It was about 1 meter tall and exuded a bloodthirsty aura. Yen Ruashi's eyes widened. She opened her mouth but couldn't say a word. She felt that it was a wolf, a lone wolf with black fur all over its body and a fierce look in its eyes. The wolf walked toward her step by step with a creepy smile in its eyes. It licked its lips and looked at Yen Ruashi as if it was looking at a sumptuous dinner. Now she finally knew why Cheng wouldn't let her come up here. Huasiqian had such a ferocious animal. She had known him for several years, but this was the first time she saw it. Qianqian. She whispered Huasiqian's name, hoping that he would appear and save her from this predicament. But she didn't get any response. Yen Ruashi had never felt so close to death in her life. Especially when she looked into the wolf's eyes, she was dumbfounded and her mind went blank. What last words? What life experiences? She didn't even have time to think about anything. Suddenly, the lone wolf howled, raised its front paws and pounced on her. It was so fast. Yen Ruashi screamed and closed her eyes, feeling like she was going to die in the wolf's belly. Right at this moment, a whistle was blown. The lone wolf suddenly stopped, turned around, and obediently walked in the other direction. Yen Ruashi opened her eyes and found that the wolf had changed direction. On the other side of the wolf, under the window, stood a man. He was wearing a black trench coat and holding a lighter in his hand. Under the moonlight, she could see his figure and silhouette, but she couldn't see his face. "Qian, is that you?" she asked. The lighter was ignited with a bang. Taking advantage of the light, the man turned his head. Yen Ruashi was so scared that her face was pale. The man had the same face as Huasiqian, but there were two thick black lines under his eyes. She didn't know if they were tattoos or something. In short, it looked especially terrifying. In the darkness of the night, it was like a malicious spirit, making people feel terrified. "The mayor's daughter, Yen Ruashi, right?" he asked. His voice was so hoarse that it made one's hair stand on end. Who are you? Where's Xianxia?" Yen Ruashi was scared out of her wits. "Are you going to ask Huasiqian? He's not here." "Then, where did he go?" Yen Ruashi asked nervously. "Every time I come out, he disappears." The man smiled evilly. Chapter 2669. What do you mean? What do you mean? He disappeared when you came out? What did you do to Xianxia? Yen Ruashi was confused by his words. "You seem to be quite infatuated with him." The man laughed coldly. "Aching and the others called you boss." "Wait, what's going on?" Yen Ruashi suddenly realized that if the man in front of her wasn't Huasiqian, Aching and the others wouldn't call him boss. Did Huasiqian have a twin brother? That didn't make sense. Yen Ruashi was dumbfounded. The wolf next to Huasiqian bared its fangs at Yen Ruashi, eager to pounce. The atmosphere was terrifying. Yen Ruashi felt that she could become the beast's dinner at any moment. "No, you're not Huasiqian. Are you possessed by a ghost?" Yen Ruashi's eyes widened as she looked at the man in front of her. Other than his appearance, this man didn't look like Huasiqian at all. His temperament was different, his clothes were different, and even his voice was different. Yet, he appeared in the Hua family mansion. Who on earth could tell her what was going on? Yen Ruashi felt that she shouldn't stay here any longer. She turned around and ran toward the door, wanting to rush out. The man looked coldly at her running back and smiled viciously. "Little wolf, go play with her." After receiving the order, the wolf rushed out and went straight for Yen Ruashi. It pounced from behind and bit Yen Ruashi's clothes. Help. Yen Ruashi was scared out of her wits. She felt that she was going to die. However, the wolf didn't bite her artery. It just tore at her clothes. It seemed to be teasing her. Yen Ruashi fell to the ground from the force of the wolf's bite. Then the wolf pounced on her. Its sharp claws pinned her to the ground. She didn't dare to move. Just like that, one person and one wolf played a cruel game in the dark secret room. Yen Ruashi was scared out of her wits. The wolf didn't eat her, nor did it bite her to death. Instead, it scratched her with its sharp claws from time to time. His entire body was throbbing with pain. Visually, he still had to watch the beast pounce on him. Mentally, she had already broken down. All that was left was heart-wrenching screams, the howls of the wolves, and Huasiqian's cold laughter. Downstairs, his subordinates didn't dare to move. Listening to the woman's voice upstairs, they could only express deep sympathy. "Brother Cheng, could Miss Yen have been?" one of his men asked. Aching shook his head. "I'm not sure. I can never guess what the boss is thinking at this moment. Then should we think of a way to save her?" "Save her? Are you kidding me? The current boss is no longer the same boss as before. If things go wrong, we might even lose our lives." In the past few years, Aching had seen Huasiqian in this state a few times. He seemed to know the pattern, so he didn't dare to act rashly. He had repeatedly warned Yen Ruashi not to go upstairs, but what did she do? This woman reaped what she sowed. Who was to blame? After some time, Huasiqian walked downstairs with a half-mask on his face. "Boss." His subordinates were so scared that they trembled. Aching was also very nervous. "Boss, are you going out?" The woman in the room. "Throw her back to where she came from." "Yes. Right now. I have more important things to do." After speaking, Wuxia quickly left the old mansion. Chapter 2670. Southside Recuperation Center. Although Lu Zhe hadn't withdrawn the charges against Su Yu, Huamin believed that Su Yu was basically fine. She planned to go to the Municipal Public Security Bureau tomorrow to see him and tell him that the matter was resolved. When Xianxia left, she sent over the list of new patients in the neurology department. Huamin happened to be on the night shift and had nothing to do, so she took the information and read it. It was already 11 o'clock at night. The hospital was also very quiet, especially in the doctor's office. Only Huamin's office was still faintly lit. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew, and the windows were blown open, making a patter sound. Huamin turned her head, glanced at it, and calmly got up. She was about to close the window, but the moment her hand touched the window, a face appeared. A half-masked face suddenly appeared. Under the illumination of the moonlight, it looked especially pale. He smiled eerily and said to her, "Huamin, we finally meet again." With a clang, Huamin's phone fell to the ground in fright. She stepped back in fear and then turned around and ran. She was too familiar with this feeling. A few years ago, on a dark and rainy night at the GK Corporation, she chased after him. She had been chased by such a person. In the end, she hid in the office and was scared out of her wits. Now that this feeling suddenly appeared, Huamin's first reaction and instinct was to run. Run as far as she could. That man in black was chasing after her. Huamin felt that the footsteps were getting closer and closer, as if that person was going to catch up to her soon. Fortunately, she was familiar with the structure of the hospital. So, she didn't run into a dead end, because there were surveillance cameras in the corridor. So, Huamin ran and shouted, "Help! Someone help me!" However, what she didn't know was that this person had already tampered with the surveillance cameras at Southside before he came. He adjusted the video to a static state. The security guards in the security room yawned sleepily. Everything was normal as they watched the surveillance video. At this moment, no one knew what Huamin was experiencing. "Huamin, you seem to be very afraid of me?" The man behind her laughed creepily. Because it was too late to run to the first floor, the stairs were too steep. If he chose to go down, he would be easily caught. Therefore, when Huamin reached the fork in the road, he gritted his teeth and ran towards the rooftop. Hee, this is going to be fun. The man seemed to be very familiar with the structure of the hospital. After laughing coldly, he chased Huamin all the way to the rooftop. Late at night, the cold wind whistled on the rooftop of Southside. Huamin knew that they were already on the top floor. There was nowhere to run. Fortunately, she still had the anesthetic needle on her to protect herself. She cleverly hid the needle in the sleeve of her white coat, planning to find an opportunity to attack. "But why aren't you running anymore?" The man laughed. Huamin turned around. She was panting but didn't say anything. The 12th floor. If I jump, Qin Chu, Su Yu, and Wuxia will be very sad. What should I do?" He laughed. "Wuxia, I know it's you. Don't play tricks with me," Huamin said calmly. "Wuxia? Oh no, I'm not him. You've got it wrong. I'm not as useless as him. If I came out earlier, you would have been mine long ago. I wouldn't have waited all these years for you." Hearing his words, Huamin suddenly understood. Could it be that Wuxia's second personality had come out? This was too fucking unlucky. Chapter 2671. So, what do you want? Huamin tried to calm himself down. The man stretched out 2 fingers and smiled coldly. 2 options. First, you come with me. Second, you jump down from here. Huamin turned around and looked behind him. If he jumped down from here, he would die for sure. This wasn't a fantasy movie. She didn't have superpowers and couldn't travel through time. Seeing that Huamin didn't speak, the man continued, "I'm not Wuxia, so I don't have to worry about his sister's life. I don't love you, so I won't do anything for you like he did. I just want to get and possess you. It's enough to show that I can do what he couldn't do for years in an instant. I'll let him know that it's so easy to defeat him." If it was before, Huamin would have thought these words were ridiculous. However, knowing that Huasiqian's second personality came out, he didn't find it strange. As an authoritative neurologist, Huamian wasn't as good at psychology as Jiang Xiaowei, but she didn't think she was helpless. If you're not Huasiqian, then who are you? You can call me Jack, the man said. Then tell me, where are you from? Do you have parents and friends? The man's expression changed slightly. You don't need to know that. Is it because I don't need to know, or is it because you can't tell me? Jack, you have to know that it's sad to live in this world without family or friends and not know where you come from. Huamian said deliberately. A godlike person like me doesn't need parents or friends. Only the weak need them. What about Huasiqian? Who is he to you? He's my enemy, the man said. Enemy? But why do I feel like you two are brothers who share the same fate? If Huasiqian dies, you won't live either. Huamin tried to brainwash him. You're talking nonsense. Whether he dies or not is his business. I'm the immortal king. The man was a little angry. No, don't lie to yourself. You're living in his body. You're in his body for good or ill. Huasiqian loves me a lot. If he finds out that you're treating me like this, he'll be so angry that he'll kill himself. Then, without this body as a vessel, you'll never be able to come out. You'll fall into a deep sleep forever. No matter how powerful you are, it'll be useless. Shut up, you woman. The man was enraged by Huamin's words. He clenched his fists tightly and walked towards her step by step. However, Huamin couldn't take another step back. Behind her was the edge of the roof. If she took another step back, she would be smashed into pieces. No one will come to save you today, and you'll become a broken toy for me. The man smiled evilly. Huamin moved her fingers slightly and flicked out the tranquilizer needle. She was waiting for an opportunity. Just as the man's hand reached for her collar, Huamin raised her hand and stabbed the needle into the man's shoulder. However, he was blocked by that person in midair. Tranquilizer needle. Child's play. The man twisted his hand and Huamin's wrist immediately felt a sharp pain. Then, the only weapon in her hand, the tranquilizer needle, fell to the ground with a ding sound. Huamin's heart sank. She felt like she was going to die this time. Chapter 2672. Huasiqian's second personality was different from Huasiqian's original personality. Although Huasiqian hated her, at least he couldn't bear to hurt her and wouldn't force her to do anything. However, this person was different. This was a completely demonized Huasiqian. He could do many unscrupulous things to Huamin. However, Huamin's integrity wouldn't allow anything to happen. Therefore, she planned to take Huasiqian's second personality with her when the opportunity presented itself. At the very least, she wanted to take him down with her and get rid of Qin Chu's last enemy. If Huasiqian died, the country would be peaceful. If she died, Ian wouldn't continue to investigate. Then, Qin Chu and their daughters would be able to live a peaceful and happy life. However, she wouldn't be in his life anymore. Thinking about her beloved husband and daughters, Huamin's eyes teared up slightly. However, her pride and self-esteem wouldn't allow her to be a coward. She raised her head arrogantly and bit her lip, forcing back the tears that were about to fall. Huamin, if Qin Chu and Su Yu knew that I took you so easily on the rooftop of the hospital, would they go crazy? The man laughed eerily. Dream on. That's impossible because... Lin Fan sneered. Huamin paused deliberately before continuing to laugh in despair. I'm going to drag you down to hell with me. Since both of her hands were restrained by the man, Huamin suddenly stretched out her leg and pinned it between the man's legs. Then, the center of gravity of his entire body leaned back. Both of them immediately threw themselves backwards. You're crazy. The man didn't expect Huamin to be so decisive. He didn't show any signs either. Fortunately, he was strong enough to hold onto the iron railing on the edge of the rooftop. She held onto Huamin tightly. You can let go. After all, I've never been afraid of death. Huamin smiled. Since he was going to die anyway, why not have some backbone? No wonder she's Qin Chu's woman. She has a backbone. The man was touched by Huamin's actions. While he wasn't paying attention, Huamin pulled hard on his wrist. She brought him down the stairs. That scene was extremely thrilling. Fortunately, the demonized Huasiqian had extraordinary skills. When he fell to the 10th floor, he immediately grabbed onto the handrail outside the window. Huamian, on the other hand, landed on the balcony of the 9th floor, probably because she fell too fast. Therefore, Huamin's waist was injured, and it seemed that he could no longer move. Let's see what you're going to do now. The man sneered and got up to jump down from the 10th floor. At this moment, a gunshot was heard from the bottom of the man's foot. It almost hit him. Who's there? He looked around cautiously. Then he saw a man in black outside the window of the 10th floor, holding a pistol in his hand. So there's reinforcements? Interesting. Jack laughed. The man in black glanced at him. 3 seconds later, he fired 3 shots in a row. However, Jack wasn't an ordinary person. He dodged very quickly and dodged all 3 shots. He didn't know how many people the enemy had, so he decided to retreat first. Okay, that's all for today. Let's play another day. Huamin, I'll miss you. Before he left, the man blew Huamin a devilish kiss. After he left, the man in black jumped down from the 10th floor. He helped the injured Huamin up. You are. Huamin looked at the man in black who saved him at the critical moment and felt extremely grateful. Chapter 2673. The man in black pulled down his scarf, revealing an unfamiliar face. Madam, I'm Mr. Qin's bodyguard, and I'm here to protect you, the man said. My husband? Huamin asked uncertainly. The man nodded. Why didn't he tell me? Huamin bit his lips. Mr. Qin was afraid that you'd feel restricted, so he didn't tell you. The truth is, every day on your way to and from work, when you're at the hospital, when you're working overtime, when you're performing surgeries, and even when you're out for dinner with friends, there are different bodyguards protecting you. I'm just one of them. So, my husband has been secretly sending a lot of bodyguards to protect me. Huamin was slightly surprised. The man nodded. Huamin felt a surge of warmth in his heart. Sure enough, silent actions were always 100 times better than sweet words. Mr. Qin never made any promises, nor did he say anything nice, but the things he did were always so touching. Mr. Qin, I'll talk to him when I have time. I almost thought he was one of Yan's men, who came to save me. Huamin smiled slightly. Madam, are you talking about the second young lady? It seemed like this bodyguard knew a lot. You know about my sister? Madam, your sister did send someone to protect you in the dark, but I was faster than that person, so he didn't move. You mean, I still have my sister's people protecting me? Huamian was surprised. Oh my God! Huamin thought he was going to die. He didn't think that his loved one would have so many people protecting her. Just now, I thought I would definitely die if I jumped down. I was scared to death. But speaking of which, since you have so many people protecting me, why didn't you come out earlier? Why did you let me fall down before coming out? If I really fell down, wouldn't I be dead? Huamin felt a lingering fear. That won't happen. We've already planned everything out. Even if you fall, there will be people below to catch you. We won't let anything happen to you. We didn't do it on the rooftop because it's too obvious. There are a lot of surveillance cameras and a lot of people watching. It's too complicated. Once our identities are exposed, it'll cause a lot of trouble. That's why we didn't show up earlier. I see, I understand now. Huamin immediately understood the whole story. Suddenly, he felt a sharp pain in his abdomen. Madam, how are you? The man in black was extremely nervous. I'm fine. Maybe it's because of the shock just now. My stomach hurts a lot. I'll go back and take some medicine. Take me downstairs to my office first. Madam. Slow down and follow me. In the end, Huamin returned to his office with the help of the men in black. Luckily, today was a close call. After they went back, Huamin sent the men in black away. Huamin secretly went to the gynecology examination room and did an ultrasound on himself. He clearly saw the baby's pulse and heartbeat. The little guy is more than 40 days old. You're so stubborn. I hope you'll be fine. Mommy, I'll try my best. Huamin placed his hand on his abdomen. When he got up to go to the bathroom, he found a slight blood stain on his underwear. It must have been from the shock when he fell off the building. She was very afraid that the baby would miscarry. Although Mr. Qin and the others didn't know, it was still her baby. Chapter 2674. After calming down for 3 seconds, Huamin made a decision. She walked to the innermost part of the clinic and made some medicine to protect the fetus. Then she injected the medicine into her hip. She gritted her teeth and endured the pain. She had to be careful and steady as she injected herself with the medicine. Finally, exhausted, she went back to her office and fell asleep on her desk. Huaxiqian didn't come back, probably because he found Huamin was protected by someone. Indonesia. In a small town on the edge of a cliff, Lu Yen sat there with a green bristle in her mouth. Suddenly her watch rang. Speak. Lu Yan's tone was always domineering. Boss, something happened in China. What happened? Lu Yen asked calmly. Your sister was attacked half an hour ago and fell from the rooftop. Fuck? Say that again? Lu Yen jumped up anxiously and almost dropped her watch. Your sister? How's my sister now? Lu Yen panicked. Your sister is fine. Our people were going to rush up, but someone else beat us to it. She fell from the rooftop to the 9th floor. She might have lost some weight and suffered some minor injuries. It's nothing serious. Boss, please rest assured. Fuck? Why didn't you tell me earlier? You scared me to death. Lu Yen cursed violently. I haven't finished yet. Boss, you're already in a hurry. So, are you blaming me? Lu Yen asked domineeringly. No. I don't dare to blame you. Cut the crap. Tell me, who dares to touch my sister? I'm going to blow him up. Although Huamin was only slightly injured, Lu Yen couldn't stand it and yelled that she was going to blow him up. It's the demonized Huaxiqian. What do you mean by demonized Huaxiqian? Can he transform? Lu Yen asked in a huff. To be exact, it's Huaxiqian's second personality. Motherfucker, I finally understand that scumbag Huaxiqian. If he doesn't die, my sister's entire family won't be able to live a good life. Once I'm done with that big pervert, I'm going to slaughter Huaxiqian. I'll cut him into 8 pieces and feed him to the dogs. Boss, calm down. The problem now is that you should leave Indonesia. Why? Huamin rolled his eyes. Because we received a secret report that Ian's brother, Nalo, will arrive in Indonesia tonight. I'm not even afraid of Ian. Why would I be afraid of his mafia brother? Do you think your boss is a pushover? Lu Yen was always arrogant. Boss, although Nalo isn't a threat, he has Levis by his side. Don't forget, her subordinate reminded Lu Yen. Levis is here? Lu Yan's expression changed. That's right. Boss, you know best how fanatical Reeves' followers are. There's no need for this subordinate to say any more. Nalo bringing Reeves to Indonesia. I feel that something isn't quite right. Boss, you should leave first before anything else happens. Okay, that's all. Then, Lu Yen pressed a button on her watch and put her hands on her hips, looking annoyed. Xiao Fei, pack up, we're leaving, Lu Yen said seriously when she saw Xiao Fei walking towards her. When? Now, immediately, right now. Why are you in such a hurry? What happened? Xiao Fei knew that something must have happened if Lu Yen was in such a hurry. Levis, are you scared? Lu Yen asked Xiao Fei with a smile. Xiao Fei's face fell when he heard the name. Chapter 2675. Why is he here? Xiao Fei asked worriedly. How am I supposed to know? Let's go, let's not waste time with them. 1 against 3, it's not fair. Even if we're immortals, we can't take it anymore. Lu Yen tidied up her long hair and tied it up with a hairband on her wrist, looking neat and tidy. When the breeze blew by, her bangs fluttered in the wind, looking very cool. This Lu Yen was clean and comfortable. She was Xiao Fei's favorite Lu Yen. On the other side, Qin Chu was coaxing his daughter to sleep. Seeing that Huamin wasn't back yet, He didn't dare to call him. He had been pretending to be angry with Huamian and didn't want to fail. Then he received a call from one of his subordinates. What's wrong? Qin Chu was flustered when he received the call from his secret guard. This was because the Dark Guardian would only call him when something happened. Usually, there was no news from him. Sir, something happened to Madam. Qin Chu's face darkened as soon as the man finished speaking. Where is she? Qin Chu suppressed his anger and asked. Madam is fine. She's only slightly injured. What? She was slightly injured? Qin Chu emphasized the word slightly. Madam fell from the rooftop onto the balcony on the 9th floor. I took care of the problem and sent Madam back to her office. Sir, don't worry, other than our people, Huamin's people are also protecting Madam. With so many people protecting her, how could she be injured? How did you do it? Qin Chu gritted his teeth in anger. Sir, it happened so suddenly that we didn't expect Huasiqian's second personality to come out. He's very strong and is at least twice as strong as the original. That's not a reason. I trained you for so long and spent so much time and money on you so that you can protect my wife. Sir, I'm sorry. What's the point of apologizing? It happened anyway. Where's my wife? Qin Chu gritted his teeth and asked in a low voice. Madam has already returned to her office. Huasiqian, very well. I will make you pay. Then, Qin Chu hung up. The next morning Huasiqian woke up early in the morning and headed out. Good morning, boss. Okay. Huasiqian nodded. When this happened, Qing knew that his boss was normal. The boss was abnormal most of the time at night, and every time, there would be a mysterious tattoo on his face. He would even release the wolf in the secret room. Are we going directly to the corporation? Qing asked. No, I'm going to Yen Ruashi's house. Boss, last night, Miss Yen? Qing wanted to say something but stopped. I know. You don't have to tell me. Huasiqian's expression was calm as he walked straight to his car. Boss, shall I drive you? No, I'll drive myself. Huasiqian opened the car door and was about to get in. Suddenly, he felt that something was wrong. Just then, he heard a faint dripping sound. Oh no! Huasiqian immediately turned around and dodged to the side. With a loud boom, the entire car suddenly exploded into raging flames. Although Huasiqian ran quickly, he was still sent flying by the powerful impact. Boss? Behind him, a few of his subordinates rushed over. Qing was far away, so it wasn't that serious. After the explosion, he immediately got up and ran to Huasiqian's side. Chapter 2676. Ahem! The thick smell of smoke made Huasiqian cough violently. Boss, are you okay? I'm fine. Huasiqian slowly got up with the help of his subordinates. Blood trickled out of the corner of his mouth. Boss, you're bleeding. Quick, call an ambulance, Qing yelled. Qin Chu wants me dead so badly. It seems like my brother Jack did something terrible last night. Huasiqian smiled as he wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Boss, it's my fault. I didn't notice the bomb in the car. Qing lowered his head guiltily. It's not your fault. Technology is so advanced now. He used a hacker to implant a virus in my car. It could cause the car's system to go haywire and then make it explode. Huasiqian analyzed calmly. It seems like we need to be more careful. We need to ask Zhang Manlin why she didn't know anything about such a big thing. Qing's face was full of hatred. It's not her fault. Qin Chu won't care about a pawn like her. Do you really think Qin Chu will fall in love with her? What a joke. I just wanted to use her to confuse Qin Chu. Plus, he won't really believe Zhang Manlin. Boss, if that's the case, then Zhang Manlin is useless. We can kill her anytime. No, we have to keep her. She'll be useful in the future. Huasiqian licked his lips. Just then, the ambulance arrived. Qing followed Huasiqian into the ambulance. As soon as Huasiqian lay down, he saw a nurse with a mask drawing his blood. He immediately grabbed the nurse's hand. What are you doing? I'm drawing your blood so we can analyze your condition. We can save a lot of time at the hospital. Sir, don't be afraid. You're a nurse? Hua Xiqian narrowed his eyes and asked. Of course. That's really strange. Nurses often hold needles, so they should have gentle hands, not a pair of calloused hands. Hua Xiqian grabbed the nurse's hands tightly and realized that they were indeed full of calluses. But I was born in the countryside. When I was young, I did farm work with my parents. My skin is not as smooth as the girls in the city, the nurse explained. Your explanation is very smart. But don't you know that only people who use guns will have calluses on their hands? When the nurse heard this, she couldn't hide it any longer. She immediately took out her gun and pointed it at Hua Xiqian. Hua Xiqian did not give her the chance to shoot. The two of them immediately started fighting in the ambulance. Ching also started arguing with the driver in the front. The car swerved left and right, almost colliding with the cars passing by, causing a pileup. GK headquarters, President Qin, you might not be able to kill Hua Xiqian by doing this. He's very cunning. Who said I'm going to kill him? Qin Chu said coldly with his hands behind his back. Then what are you doing? Even if I can't kill him now, I can't let him have a good time. Just as Hua Xiqian and the female assassin were fighting, a big truck suddenly rushed towards them. It was heading straight for the ambulance. The driver immediately jumped out of the car and ran. Ching turned around and yelled, "Boss, it's dangerous, jump out of the car." Then they jumped out together. With a loud crash, the big truck smashed into the ambulance. Hua Xiqian fell to the side of the road. Before he could stand up, a black pistol was pressed against his temple. Now, you're dead. The female assassin smiled proudly. Chapter 2677. The corners of Hua Xiqian's mouth lifted slightly. What are you smiling at? The female assassin looked at him anxiously. Many people want to kill me, but I'm still alive. Do you know why? Hua Xiqian asked with a smile. The female assassin didn't answer because she didn't know what Hua Xiqian was going to do. Because they don't know that I'm too tough. Even the king of hell doesn't want to take me. Then, the female assassin pulled the trigger with all her might. President Qin had instructed them to kill her as soon as they had the chance. They didn't have to be soft or capture her alive. They could just kill her. Dealing with Hua Xiqian should be that simple and violent. Unfortunately, after the gunshot, the one who died was the female assassin. Ching walked up from behind and put down his gun. Boss, are you okay? Ching helped Hua Xiqian up. I'm fine. She's probably Qin Chu's man. She's a good assassin, Ching analyzed as he glanced at the dead female assassin. Qin Chu doesn't seem like someone who would lose his cool. Did something happen? Hua Xiqian murmured to himself. Boss, last night. Ching looked like he wanted to say something but stopped. What happened last night? Tell me. Hua Xiqian glanced at Ching's face with a sharp gaze. Last night? Miss Hua. Ching's voice trailed off. What happened to Mian? Hua Xiqian grabbed Ching's collar and asked angrily. Last night Miss Hua was injured. Injured? Who injured her? Hua Xiqian gritted his teeth and asked coldly. Oh no, Mr. Jack injured her. Mr. Jack forced Miss Hua to jump off the rooftop. Luckily, she's fine and only slightly injured. So, I think Qin Chu might be angry because of this and blame you for what Mr. Jack did, Ching said slowly. My little sister Mian is injured? Damn it. Hua Xiqian blamed himself and was frustrated. It's not your fault, boss. You didn't know. After all. Ching paused and didn't dare to continue. Where's my medicine? Hua Xiqian raised his head abruptly. Ching handed over the white medicine bottle that he always carried with him. Hua Xiqian angrily opened the bottle and poured out a handful, stuffing it all into his mouth. Boss, too much is bad for your health. Ching looked at the boss sympathetically. It's because I always take care of my body that I eat too little. That's why that bastard Jack took advantage of me. My little sister Mian will probably blame all of that guy's crimes on me. It's really unfair to me. Just find a chance to explain it to Miss Hua in the future, comforted Ching. After taking care of the hitman and getting back into the car, Hua Xiqian was in a very bad mood. His face was gloomy the whole way. When the second personality came out, he was a completely different person. He couldn't remember most of the things that he did. Occasionally, he would remember some of the things that left a deep impression in his mind. Maybe he would have some recollection of them as his brain replayed them. If no one told him, he wouldn't even know that he was the one who forced Huamin to jump off the building last night. In Hua Xiqian's world, and in Aching's eyes, Jack and Hua Xiqian were two completely different people. They just shared the same body. Hua Xiqian loved Huamin deeply. He couldn't bear to hurt her and would even die for her. Jack didn't love Huamin, but he knew that Hua Xiqian loved her deeply. That was why he always wanted to destroy and possess her. The car slowly stopped in front of the Yen mansion. Hua Xiqian got out of the car and walked in. "What are you doing here? Look at what you've done to my daughter." Mrs. Yen looked at Hua Xiqian angrily. Chapter 2678. Where's Yen Ruoshi? Hua Xiqian asked coldly. "Get out of here. Don't think you're all that just because you're filthy rich. My daughter is stupid to like you. Look at how you've hurt her." "Is she upstairs?" Hua Xiqian asked and rushed upstairs. "What are you doing?" "I'll call the police." Mrs. Yen roared. "Call the police? Sure. I happen to have some evidence of Mayor Yan's corruption and bribery. The police would be interested as well." Hua Xiqian turned around and sneered. "You." Mrs. Yen immediately shut up when she heard Hua Xiqian's words. Hua Xiqian went upstairs and pushed open the door to Yen Ruoshi's room. Yen Ruoshi had been covered in wounds since last night, but she didn't dare to go to the hospital. She was afraid that the media would follow her and smear her father's reputation, so she had to hire a private doctor to bandage her wounds. Fortunately, her wounds weren't serious, but she was still traumatized. Yen Ruoshi didn't dare to close her eyes to sleep. Even if she was sleepy, she had to keep the lights on and her eyes open. As soon as she closed her eyes, the image of the evil wolf would appear in front of her. "You'd get out? I don't want to see you." Yen Ruoshi trembled when she saw Hua Xiqian and covered her head with her hands. "You saw him?" Hua Xiqian asked. "Isn't that you? Why else would he be at your house?" Yen Ruoshi said in a trembling voice. "That's not me. That's my twin brother." Hua Xiqian made up an excuse. After all, he didn't want anyone to know about his split personality. "Twin brother? When did you have a twin brother? Why didn't anyone mention it?" Yen Ruoshi crawled out of the quilt and looked at him curiously. "It's because my younger brother is mentally ill. He's been mentally ill since he was young, so my biological parents sent him to the countryside. Later, I pitied him and brought him back. Unfortunately, he's mentally ill. He's very ill and harms people everywhere. I can only lock him in the secret chamber." "What's with the wolf?" Yen Ruoshi asked. "Wolf grew up with him in the mountains, so he wanted to come with him. I locked him up. Last night, when I was delivering food to him, he knocked me out. After I was locked up, he ran out and pretended to be me. I heard from Aching that he had done a lot of terrible things, right?" "I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of my brother, Jack." Hua Xiqian reached out his hand and placed it on Yen Ruoshi's. "Is he really your brother?" Yen Ruoshi was confused. "Yes, because it's a family scandal. I've been hiding it." "Ruoshi, you'll help me hide it, right? You won't tell anyone, right?" Hua Xiqian asked. "I won't. Don't worry, Xianxian. I won't tell anyone." "Thank you, Ruoshin, Xianxian, about the wedding at the end of the month. We'll hold the wedding as usual." Hua Xiqian smiled slightly. "Do we need to get a marriage certificate?" Yen Ruoshi asked. A cold glint flashed across Hua Xiqian's eyes, and then he smiled. "Let's make it up after the wedding. My ID card and some of my company's documents have been checked overseas. I'm planning to expand my company overseas, right?" "Okay, I'll do as you say. You're not feeling well. Take care of yourself." Hua Xiqian patted Yen Ruoshi's head. After dealing with Yen Ruoshi, Hua Xiqian went back to work at the Hua Corporation. GK headquarters, President Qin, Misha failed her mission and was shot to death by Hua Xiqian's men. Her body was dumped in the junkyard. Qin Chu's face darkened and he clenched his fists. Chapter 2679. Got it. Qin Chu's tone was indifferent. President Qin, Wuxia is a lunatic. He doesn't care about human lives. Are we really going to fight against him like this? Do you really have to sacrifice so many people's lives? The subordinate asked, not knowing the difference between life or death. What else can we do? Do I have to watch him bully my wife and child? Qin Chu asked. The man was silent. I didn't want Misha to die. Of course, I want her to kill Wuxia. She's an assassin, so she has to take the risk of dying, right? President Qin is right. Tell the others to give a large sum of money to Misha's family as compensation. Qin Chu wasn't cold-blooded. He just felt that he couldn't just sit around and wait for death. He was too passive. His Mian almost died. Just thinking about it scared him. President Qin, Misha, doesn't have any family left, the man said slowly. If that's the case, then donate it to charity. Think of it as doing good for Misha. Qin Chu waved his hand and signed the check. He never cared about spending money. He was sad that his assassin died, but for Wuxia, sacrifices were inevitable. 7:30 a.m., Huamin woke up tiredly in his office. He washed his face and drove out without makeup. It was 8 a.m. when he arrived at the Municipal Public Security Bureau. I'm looking for Director Gao. He asked. Gao ran to lead the way. Huamin saw Suyu again. He thought he was still as haggard and unshaven as before. To his surprise, Suyu was even more handsome than usual. Wow, you've been doing well these days, Huamin joked. I can't give up on myself. It's not a murder case. Lu Zhe doesn't like to talk to me in private. I'll save money. I'll just go abroad for a while. You guys talk. I have to go to a meeting, Gao Ran said. All right. Huamin nodded. After Gao Ran left, Huamin placed the lunchbox on the table. Wow, is it breakfast? Suyu was ecstatic. Yes. Dr. Hua, why are you being so nice today? You're making it sound like I'm going to the execution ground to be beheaded. Are you giving me my last meal? Suyu joked. Get lost, don't talk nonsense. Huamin didn't want to listen to Suyu's ominous words. Opening the food box, Suyu was slightly moved, and a trace of warmth appeared in his eyes. You still remember my preferences, Suyu said slowly. Of course, I stayed at your place for so long when I was pregnant. How could I forget such a small thing? I'm a Virgo. Huamin smiled. Inside the lunchbox were exquisite shrimp dumplings, crab roe dumplings, and stir-fried rice noodles. They were all Suyu's favorite dishes. They even drank Suyu's favorite soy milk. You bought too much, Dr. Hua. I can't finish it all myself. What a waste. Suyu mumbled as he ate. Damn, that's for two. Fine, I haven't eaten yet. Suyu felt slightly awkward. Huamin ignored Suyu's awkwardness and picked up his chopsticks to eat as well. Suyu didn't expect that after Huamin left the Su family, the first time they had breakfast alone was at the Municipal Public Security Bureau. It really was something else. Lord Su, you'll be leaving soon. If I'm not wrong, Lu Zhe will drop the charges against you in 2 days, Huamin said calmly. What? Did you find someone to threaten him? Suyu asked calmly. Huamin almost spat out the shrimp dumplings in his mouth. Chapter 2680. What's with that look on your face? Suyu couldn't help but ask upon seeing Huamin's expression. Big bro, am I that kind of person? Do you think I'd threaten her? Huamin chuckled as he ate. Then how did you deal with that little bastard? Don't tell me you used a honey trap? Suyu smacked his lips and looked at him with his adorable eyes. Honey trap? You must be joking. With my looks, no one would be interested in me. So, how did you get that guy to withdraw his lawsuit? Suyu was even more curious. Then, Huamin calmly told Suyu about getting Lin Mingyu to re-examine his wound and Zhao Qingya's younger sister. Holy shit. Dr. Hua, I really want to worship you. Huamin was speechless. In the future, I'll bow down to you, Huamin. Your brain is better than all of ours. Grandpa even said that he'd let me go abroad for medical treatment, but you got it done so easily? Su Yu looked at Huamin with admiration. Who said that men didn't love smart women? Those who didn't love smart women were usually men with low IQ. Men with high IQ preferred women with high IQ. Otherwise, it would be tiring to have idiots around him. For example, Su Yu would never fall in love with Zhao Qingya, Mian, and Qin Chu would never fall in love with pretentious women like Song Yishe or Zhang Manlin. They always thought that they were smart, but compared to Huamin's great wisdom, they were nothing. Don't be so sure. After all, that guy hasn't withdrawn his lawsuit yet. I'm just guessing. If nothing unexpected happens, he'll withdraw his lawsuit in 2 days. After all, he's not stupid. He won't continue doing things that harm others without benefiting himself, especially when he realizes that the situation isn't beneficial to him. Mian, I can't thank you enough for treating me like this. Su Yu looked at Huamin tenderly. You don't have to thank me. This is what I should do as a friend. Actually, the people who truly care about you would never rush over just because of your light. Instead, when they saw you struggling to move forward in the mud, they would ignore your sorry state and gently reach out to you. And you are the person who reached out to me when I was in dire straits. What I am doing now is merely repaying your kindness, just like what you did to me back then. Hey, it's just a trivial matter. Are you going to remember it for the rest of your life? Su Yu scratched his head, obviously embarrassed. In the past few years, Huamin seemed to have been constantly talking about the kindness of the Su family. Su Yu also felt embarrassed. Yes, I want to remember it for the rest of my life. Huamin was very serious. What about me? Mian, will you remember me for the rest of your life? No matter what happens in the future, no matter if I'm alive or dead, no matter if I'm happy, no matter if I'm still by your side, will you always remember me? Su Yu suddenly became emotional. I will remember you for the rest of my life. The 2 words, Su Yu, in my heart, to me, will always mean that you are my most important friend, Huamin said. Then, what if I compared you to Qin Chu? If one day Qin Chu and I were in danger, who would you save? Su Yu knew that this question was silly, but he still asked it foolishly. Su Yu. Huamin wanted to say something but stopped. It's okay. Just tell me the truth. I won't be angry. I know what I'm capable of. Su Yu smiled with tears in his eyes. He obviously didn't have enough confidence. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.